Hey, what's going on tonight, Alliance? I was just catching up on Karee's videos there and seeing what he had to say, and I thought one of the things was interesting, like the whole move fast, hit hard debate. And I think, like I said, as we kind of established, I do kind of agree. I agree with kind of both sides. Like I think both sides do have a point on that one. And like I said, with Karee's point, like if you move fast enough and you hit hard enough, and you can take a hit like as to not, well, that's the other thing. It's like if you move fast enough, you don't need to worry about getting hit or anything like that. But it's like if you have like I guess a limited amount of durability where if you can withstand let's say the splash of an explosion or something like that. So like a little durability definitely goes a long way in that regard. But yeah, if you can move fast enough and hit hard enough, I think you kind of top the charts. The problem is, as a player character, uh, there's likely always someone out there who is going to move faster and hit harder than you. Like there's always some spectrum that you haven't broken into. It's kind of like the story format of like a lot of animes like DBZ and stuff like that. There's always someone out there who's going to push you to your next power level, that kind of thing. So in that regard, I can actually see a good point where moving fast and hitting hard for a PC character is probably not the best bet, and like where Sean's side of the argument where the versatility comes into play, because if all you do is move fast and hit hard, your opponent also moves fast and hit hard and then does it to a greater degree than you, then you've got nothing. Like there's no way for you to overcome your opponent outside of getting out of that confrontation and then training yourself up to go, move faster and hit harder. So like I said, there's definitely two sides. The other side of it is though is if you're a move fast, hit hard type person and you go for versatility, is that versatility slowing down the potential of how fast you can move and how hard you can hit? Like if you're off there training out your whatever, psychic powers or something like that, when you could be doing some push-ups and wearing some weighting clothing and running around the planet a couple times, like is that training that's taken away from how fast you could be and how hard you can hit? So it's like versatility is definitely that double-edged sword. It's like if you've already accepted you're not going to be a move fast, hit hard character, then why not just go all out for versatility? Try to like train up everything at that point, and you know, hit decently fast and hard, and then have versatility for ways that you can create openings to get those strikes in. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I don't think there's an easy answer to it. I think, like I said, I think Karee's right in the sense where if you can like go the pure route of moving fast and hitting hard, then yeah, it's like that's the ultimate power. Like that's all you need. Like because someone charging up some technique or something like that, like you're faster than like you're faster than the technique, then you hit them hard enough and they never get to launch it off, even though it's like that technique could easily beat you. It's kind of like an a very all-in type thing. But that's okay. That's certainly a way to play. And like I said, I think Sean definitely has enough background with haiku and everything like that, being a move fast, hit hard character where you're going to run into those problems where someone is going to move faster than you and hit harder than you, and from there it's like, well, what do? You just accept the loss because that's all you have, and then from there versatility kind of you know allows you to overcome those obstacles. Yeah, the other thing what Kree was saying about like punching down and him getting a lot of his victories, like this is something, and it's something that kind of makes me think about generations, because I think whenever we were in college, the DM came to us when we first started Real World, and I say us as in the group of players that he took on in college, and I seem to recall him asking what difficulty we'd like to play the game on. Basically, there was normal and hard. Hard better difficult or better rewards, more chances for advancement for your character. Normal was just the normal difficulty, but hard also had more powerful NPCs. So when I hear a lot of things about you guys' game, and like this, now I say you guys, I mean specifically Tymir and Karee probably the most. Keith I heard a little bit here and there, but mostly from Real World Cons. And Eric, same with Eric, like kind of like glossing some of the feats that your characters have accomplished, whether it's through learning about them in movies, interacting with your characters, or like movies on here in the Alliance, which, Keith and Eric, let's get some real world videos on here when you guys get some free time. I know free time isn't something everyone's got, but for the sake of real world and all. But yeah, no, like, and it made me think that I know we picked hard because a bunch of arrogant jerks, and of course you're gonna go for the hard mode. Like whenever I play a video game or something like that, it's like normals for the people who aren't like passionate about something or something like that. It's like a slightly competitive nature or whatever you want to call it. So we all at that time picked hard, and whenever Kree said the thing about like, oh yeah, I got a lot of my wins by punching down, I'm like, whoa, you had the opportunity to punch down? You didn't have some like big nasty out there chasing you? Like, it was just one of those ones. I remember a lot of like the college stories and everything like that from Generations, and it was like there was no punching down. Like you did, I mean, you could, I guess, technically go do it, but like you were kind of always fighting for your life. It felt like a lot of times, like there was no like go back and clear things up. It's like no, there was just the next big thing that was out there to get you, and Zeratul was very much that case. Not Alternus. Atticus, not quite as much. Like I can't remember the shenanigans we got into him with as much, but like Zeratul, there was no punching down. Like and I said the probably the most, not the most memorable thing, but like one of the things I talk about is that that Underworld tournament where I finally got to kind of see Zeratul's like just how far along he was in that tournament, and he only got through like one or two rounds before like the next big bad thing happened. It was like, yeah, he got to punch down like for maybe 15 minutes of his life. Everything else was drastically punching up, like out of, not even like out of his weight class, like out of his, some, I don't know, some much wider spans of punching up. So I cracked up whenever Kree was talking about, but yeah, I got a lot of my wins punching down. It's like punching down's a luxury, man. and it got me thinking about maybe that was because we chose that higher difficulty for Real World. Maybe because it was like there was a lot of NPCs that we interact with that were definitely stronger and more powerful. And I said that was just, I'd thought about it before, but I never really brought it up to anyone, like within like our college group. But like just thinking about it now, thinking back, I was wondering about that. I was like, yeah, I wonder if maybe things were so terrible. And I don't mean terrible as in a bad way. I mean like they were traumatic experiences that very much forged in the fire kind of experiences, like kind of things. Like there wasn't a lot of rest and relaxation and downtime. Like you look at even Omen. Like look at Omen, who wanted to go to his high school dance and all that kind of stuff, and like wanted to hang out with his friends. Nope, he got dragged into the legacy battle. And I say that kind of in like a disparaging way. I had fun with the character, but it was just one of those things that makes you wonder. And then, like I said, I think the nature of good guys, like if you play a bad guy, I think you can punch up or punch down pretty freely. The nature of a good guy, though, for a lot of good guys, is that you can handle lesser threats, but there's probably someone else out there to do it. You're not going to ignore someone in need, but like if someone's out there being a jerk or something like that, then you let some jerk on his level, or someone on his level deal with them while you're like putting all your focus into the bigger jerk at hand who needs to be stopped, who no one else can stop right now because you're punching high, like you're up there and everything like that. But yeah, that was definitely got me thinking, and I still wonder. I'll have to ask the DM when he gets back from his trip there. Is the game still on hard mode for me? Because DM, I don't mind it going back to normal, just for the record. I learned my lesson. Had a bunch of characters die horribly, and you guys are still rocking X and Sage and all that stuff after all these years. Yeah, but we'll have to ask about that. And the other thing, Korea, I was actually thinking about that before you had said. I was like, there's probably some bars in there that aren't going to make a lot of sense to people. Like I don't think anyone knows who Rohans are or anything like that when I mention them. But yeah, I'll go through and like break it down. I was thinking about doing it, but I was like, I don't want to be, I don't want to be flooding the channel with that kind of nonsense. Like as far as things go, I didn't know if that was something people wanted to know or not. But yeah, I'll definitely do that and break it down here. I'll be anxious to see a couple years. Like that's one of the things. Like I feel bad with some of the videos with Timir and you to a slightly lesser extent. But like Timir and everything like that. He'll be talking about Sage or Apollyon. And it's like I know so little about these characters. Like Sage, I know a little bit more about just from his stories and stuff. But like, there's so many people I don't like. I know a little bit about Broad. Like Kai, I know about from like talking to Sean and Timir. But like, there's some of those characters I don't know as much about. So like, getting to hear the some of the backstories behind lines and where they were there, why they were there, and like why they work the way they do. It's like, oh, you definitely get an extra level of appreciation to that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll go through here and kind of break them down a little bit because like most of them aren't like this, and there's nothing crazy deep or anything like that. Like the heartstrings like Cupid one I can do right now was that was something from Movie Cast where he could basically I think I described it in one of my videos where he could basically see people's like their thread of life in and how it's attached to reality. So it's like imagine there's this vast tapestry of reality that's kind of like interwoven with all living things. And he could like sense out a life form and he could sense their thread. And the more powerful or the bigger this life form is, and like let's say from like going from like one of those little flying creatures, like that was a very small thread. It was a small creature and it wasn't very powerful, but they were numerous, so you could find like multiples of these threads throughout this tapestry. But for like a sentient life form, like I think he went against what's his name, Sean's character Victor Vega, and was it Alex? Was it Alex Alexander Kane? I think that's what it was. I feel bad for not remembering that now because I'm just having a blank moment. But I think it's Alex, yeah. But anyway, so like I think he went against Alex, and like Alex, I don't think is a very powerful person. But even then, his thread to the life, his connection to the life force was pretty decent, and it's hard for him to like at least at his level to snap that thread. But snapping that thread basically ceases their life, and I don't know if you can do that in game yet. It hasn't really come up yet. And I'll be curious with my new understanding of Nui energy that I can sense people out like that. But that was kind of like the heartstrings. Like it's not exactly your heartstrings, but it's kind of like I don't know if it stops your heart, but it just like ceases your life, and you no longer have a heartbeat. So that was kind of the play on words with that one. But I'll do the rest some other time here. I'll be anxious to hear yours as well. All right, we'll cut out there.